Tang Soo Do back in 1978. I started training him. He was like one of those guys. He was one of the black belts, and he was out there, and I was like, wow, he's good. And so I knew who he was. Of course, back in those days, he wasn't Wesley. It wasn't Wesley Jenkins, it was Chipper. He was Chipper Jenkins, and some of you might know that. That's how he was referenced. Master Bowden always referred to him as Carl. Yeah. And so that's how we knew him. In fact, the funny thing is, sir, when you started using, I don't know when you started using Wesley, and when did you become Wesley? That was kind of interesting, but that's fine. Back in those days, when I got up to the black belt level, he was a guy that, in Connecticut, and around the New England area that you wanted to kind of face, you wanted to go up against. And I had my fair share. I had some opportunities. In fact, I was looking at this picture in the booklet, and this is for the Academy tournament that Master Bowden has hosted for like 1 million years. And I think Master Jenkins has won it probably 500,000 times. But this is one of those years where I know I faced him. He's got the big trophy. I know I matched up against him. Fought him in the heavyweight division at that tournament, and I ended up second place in the heavyweight division that year. That was a good year. Faced the man. Had a great time. We had a couple of battles over the years at different events, and one special event was 1986 in Philadelphia, where we fought all day long. The second downs and the third downs all fought. It was a huge division. And at the end of the day, it got to be Master Jenkins and me fighting in the evening finals. Again, didn't win, but I had a great time. It was a wonderful experience. I shared that with my big brother, my big Mudo brother. And those are memories that will always last. I share those memories with my own students. Some of the things that I kind of think about, and I go, I remember when Master Jenkins was testing for his third dan with Sue Del Bono, one of the classmates, and I was sitting at the head table. Master Bowden was just happy sitting there. I was a studio owner, so I was just sitting and watching. I was not testing anybody. I was just sitting there as an observer, and Master Jenkins was going through his test, and he was rocking the house and doing everything he needed to do. It came time to spar, and there wasn't a whole lot of people out on the floor for him to spar with, so Master Bowden graciously drew me out there. It was like, I don't know what it was. I'm like, I've been sitting all day long, and now I get to go spar with him. Okay? Guess what? It was another wonderful experience that I'll always remember, and I enjoyed, because I took part in that advancement, that experience for him. When I was testing for my third dan, he was conducting, and we were out on the floor, and before you guys all know his conditioning stuff. Yeah, before we even started doing blocks, punches, and kicks, he was killing us with leg lifts and push-ups, and I was cursing him under my breath. I'm like, come on, let me just do a front kick, please. But leg lifts, push-ups, he killed us before we got started. But that was only part of it. Our young brother, Efren Valentin, was testing for third dan with me. And Master Valentin is about 9 years my junior, so at the time he was 17 years old. And he was just a young man, and I was sparring with him. Going back and forth, Master Valentin is not that tall. He threw a spinning hook kick right past my nose. Master Jenkins had such a whoa, and I looked at him, I went, you son of a gun. And, well, I lost myself for a moment. I blasted Master Valentin with a ridge hand, and he loves to tell that story, but it was all on him, because he kind of was like teasing me a little bit, because our little brother whipped me with a hook kick, and I just stood there and took it. But we've had many wonderful training years together. Certainly recently, we've made strong connections with our organization. I'm proud to say that Master Jenkins has served as the chairman of the United States Goodwill for our organization, and he is currently a senior advisory member for our organization. We just cherish the time we have together. We just really enjoy all of our activities, our training, and I'm really honored and proud to be here to share this wonderful 50th anniversary of Tang Soo Do with all of you and with my good friend and my brother, Master Jenkins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Grandmaster Scott.
Good evening, everyone. To those of you that have never seen me before, my name is Master Scott. I am a big fan of the person who is here tonight being honored, Master Jenkins. First class individual, which I'm sure you're all aware of. And the one thing that I've always kind of questioned was why a 35-year-old man would masquerade as a 62-year-old man and have 50 years of martial arts experience. Every time I see him, I feel like I want to go out and work out. And when you get older, you know, you sort of go through those up and down periods. The one thing I had to have the pleasure of noticing when I interact with people in the Tang Soo Do community, I like to observe them just to see, what how they conduct, how they handle themselves, how they, kind of image they put forth in regards to Tang Soo Do and as people. And I've always been impressed by the way Master Jenkins carries himself. His people are all easy to get along with. They're nice people. They roll up their sleeves and they pitch in. They're friendly to everybody. That anytime I've seen any of them, they're more than willing to shake your hand and say how you doing, and just be friendly in general. They don't put on any airs. And I see where that comes from. And I was just mentioning to Mrs. Jenkins, like when I first met their children, I was sort of watching the table when they were over here. And I noticed that his son has the bearing of his father. So that means that he was paying attention, just like his students pay attention to the example that he sets. And when you talk about 50 years of experience, you really, you gotta wrap your head around 50 years. Right? You young people, 50 years seems like, way out there. And I've been at it for 47 years. Right? And, I'm a little, I think I have 10 years on Master Jenkins. And when you think about 50 years of doing anything with a passion, teaching. What is teaching? What is teaching? Teaching is you're giving of yourself to other people, and you're doing it with a passion. It's not like teaching in other venues. When you're a martial art instructor, there is no summer vacation. I mean, you get a summer vacation, you want to go away with the family. But for the most part, there's no 3 months off, take a breather. Right? You're out there pretty much teaching all year round. With a little bit of time in the summer, maybe. You get to go places, but a lot of times it's work related, and a lot of times it has to do with making opportunities for your students. We're going to Connecticut, or we're going to California, or we're going overseas, or we're going to do something. But you got 10 kids with you. You maybe have some families. You're doing it, but you're going places and you're doing things, but you're doing it and giving of yourself to to make opportunities for them. And it's sort of like it's almost like a reflex. When you look at that head table up there, I was saying to Master Jenkins, there's like 350 years of Tang Soo Do experience sitting at that table. And maybe 400 Master Jenkins up there. Right? So you have a lot of experience, and you have people who have for 50 years. I know the Grandmaster Bowman's been around that long, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how many, because I'm not quite sure, but I know he's senior to everybody up there. And they've been giving of themselves for 50 years to other people, to developing people's character, to instilling in them a sense of a strong work ethic and discipline, and all the things that they can get from training in the martial arts that's going to take them into their life's work. And the number one thing that you can use in terms of your life's work is the passion to go after things that you want, the passion to develop yourself to your potential, the passion to want to give up yourself to other people. And that's something that I can, and you as well, can see very clearly in Master Jenkins. I'm proud and honored to be here today to say a few things about a man that I respect, and a man who I probably am going to do a lot more with in the future. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. And so we have Grandmaster Jenkins.
I want to honor this special individual tonight by giving you some descriptions of some of his great achievements. Parachuted behind enemy lines, battled forest fires, saved orphans, conquered malaria, saved a woman from jumping off the Empire State Building and landed on the moon. Oh, sorry, that's next week's speech, sorry. Wrong page. I was close though. He studied martial arts because he was inspired by Bruce Lee, watching the Green Hornet, but you needed martial arts if you knew anything about the streets of Waterbury. It was not easy growing up in Waterbury as a young man or a young lady, and thank you to Grandmaster Baldwin for taking this young man and putting him on the street to success. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. If Waldorf was a little closer to Los Angeles, you could call Master Jenkins by his middle name. If this was close to Hollywood, we call him Denzel. Waldorf exercising women. They tell me they like waking up every morning with Wesley Jenkins. I don't know what your wife thinks about that. Sounds a little fishy. He's been featured on MTV, been on the cover of Taekwondo Times. He's a champion in all aspects of his life. Once he met an exclamation point, he's got a great reverse punch. I felt it. I don't want to feel it again. Punch an exclamation point, created the question mark. A great competitor, he frequently donated blood to the Red Cross, just never his own. I'm impressed with Master Jenkins. He's a man like an international mystery man. One night I was out with him after a tournament, he ordered the whole meal in French. We were at P.F. Chang's. Very impressive, Master Jenkins. He's tough. He was a drill instructor. Now you know where the martial arts students where you get some of that ferociousness. One day he threw a grenade in battle, killed 50 people, and then the grenade exploded. Once we were on a camping trip doing martial arts out in the woods, a snake bit him, poisonous snake. After 5 days of extreme pain, the snake died. Master Scott, I told you, talking about working out, Master Jenkins inspired us all to increase our fitness level. Master Scott told me earlier, said, Master Jenkins says I need buns of steel, and Master Scott said I'd be happier with buns of cinnamon. Leslie Jenkins, let's get to you, my friend. She calls him Grandmaster Bomino. Grandmaster. She says, Wesley, it's a problem with the car's water in the carburetor. He goes, okay, I'll fix it for you. Tell me where the car is. She says, in the Potomac. He and his wife have the secret to making a marriage last and happily married for many years. 2 times a week they go to a nice restaurant for dinner, have a little wine, have a nice dinner. Mrs. Jenkins goes on Tuesdays, Master Jenkins goes on Fridays. Leslie knew he'd be a good husband when she first met him because he wore an earring. Knew he was to be a keeper. She told me, she goes, men with pierced ears are better prepared for marriage. They've experienced pain and bought jewelry. When they first started to get married, and, of course they wanted to be the best spouse possible to each other. And he gets up early to start his fitness program, start his classes, and she would get up. She was such a great wife. She'd get up 4:30 in the morning, make him breakfast, all her loving man. And then she started to stay in bed a little bit longer. And one day he said, hey Leslie, I would like to have a hot breakfast in the morning. She said, throw a match in your cereal. One time we were at a tournament and he was shopping, went to a stationery store. He says, I want to buy Maya a fountain pen. I said, that's a really nice gift. I said, is it a surprise? He said, yeah, she's expecting a Mercedes. Grandmaster Jenkins one time trained the Black Eyed Peas. Back then they were just known as the Peas. And this distinguished panel of grandmasters up here, proud to be amongst these senior masters, knowledgeable, hardworking, dedicated to their art. Master Volker flew down today, but other times we've been down to Waldorf, he's driven. And they have those electronic cameras now in his feed, they send you a ticket in the mail. $100 ticket. So he thought he'd be a smart guy. So they sent him a picture of his license plate, he sent him a picture of two $50 bills. They sent him back a picture of handcuffs. Grandmaster Scott, one of the most talented martial artists I've ever met. His best punch, though, is called the rabbit punch. But now we told him he can't fight rabbits anymore. Sorry. Grandmaster Jacoby from New Jersey. Very good competitor, too. We just saw a picture of him back in the 70s. We were competing in Grandmaster Bogo's tournament. At that tournament, he threw a left cross, a right cross, and then we had to call the red cross to take him home. Grandmaster Chung Soo Kim. When he first came to this country from Korea, they recommended where to live. He said, I want to be in LA, I want to be Hollywood, I want to be like Bruce Lee. And he said, York, Pennsylvania, that's really close to LA. He's a powerful kicker. If you ever saw him do anything, his kick is unbelievable. One time he kicked Hulk in the face. Hulk ran into the woods and now he's known as Shrek. Grandmaster Bodo, we appreciate you so much, sir. He's our senior Grandmaster here. Teacher of Grandmaster Jenkins, and in one of the pictures I saw on the table, one of the toughest Tang Soo Do competitors ever in history, a man named Mike Arroyo. Grandmaster Jenkins has nicknamed him the Town of Power. One time he kicked me in my arm, I had to go sit down, had to give myself a timeout. I didn't even block it, I just had to go sit down. He was world champion, and so Grandmaster Bodo knew how to train people, not only just in Tang Soo Do, but in life. Grandmaster Bodo is now over 70. You notice he still doesn't need glasses. Yep, he drinks right out of the bottle now. He's the association head, Grandmaster of the World Tang Soo Do Association. Let's talk about some of the students now. See, the Robinsons sitting in the back there. Yes, you will not escape my speech, I'm sorry. Skip Robinson once saved his wife from being molested by a local pervert. He went home early. Master Scroggins, Grandmaster Jenkins' right-hand person at the school. One time she was getting ready for her contest. She's one of the most fabulously fit women I've ever met. So she's trying to pose and do her muscle toning exercises. She's posing in tank top, shorts, and she takes her sweatshirt off. Then she's got a little bathing suit on. She takes more off. And all of a sudden, Master Jenkins walks in and says, thought you had nothing on. I got scared for a minute. She goes, that's not true. I had the radio on. Let me see. Did Michael come? Let me see. Did Michael here? All right. I knew he showed up. So Michael has his father's good looks, his suave, debonair attitude. Last night there was a girl knocking on his hotel room door all night. After 2 hours of pounding on the door, he finally let her out. He asked his dad, when our kids were little, we want to teach them martial arts. And he said, Dad, can you teach me to do the splits? And then Master Jenkins says, how flexible are you? He goes, well, I can't make it on Tuesdays. Ian. I see you over there, my man. He's a college boy. Look like a college boy to me. Big reader, loves books. Has over 300 books. His collection. But no bookcase, you know why? There's nobody to lend him a bookcase. Oh, Mrs. Robinson, we didn't forget you too. One time they told me after a hard workout, she's pouring sweat, her muscles are burning. She goes home, take a shower, there's a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Relentless, she's in the shower. She looks around, no bathrobe, no towel, just a little wash rag. She runs to the door and says, "Who is it?" And the response says, "Blind man." So she opens the door with her little towel. He goes, "Where do you want the blinds, lady?" Well, Master Jenkins, in the 70s and 80s when we were young men in our 20s, maybe I think we were maybe 18, 19, we started to train together, compete together, we fought hard. I was in the opposing camp in the Tang Soo Do school, and we battled, and you know what, here it is, decades later, and true Tang Soo Do people become best friends. I admire your love of people, I admire your children and wife, I know you love your family, I know you love your God, your country, Waldorf, Maryland, your students, and I know you love Tang Soo Do. He's not only a karate champion in the tournaments, but a champion in life. He's respected nationally in the Tang Soo Do world by many senior grandmasters, teacher, bodybuilder, trainer, businessman, competitor. He's changed many, many lives through martial arts and fitness. Grandmaster Jenkins, when I think of you, I think of three things: respect, honor, and love. Those are things that make a tough black belt grandmaster. The world's a better place because of you, and here's a quote I like. A hero is someone who has given their life to something bigger than oneself. Grandmaster Jenkins, you are my hero. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Grandmaster Ali Giacobi.
Good evening, everybody. I want to just say that it's also my 50th year anniversary. I started in 1968. And, you know, I've known Master Jenkins for many years. Our relationship started through Master Bowen, because I was a student of Master Shin's. 1968, Master Shin came to the United States, and I was his first student to walk in and start training with him as a white belt. And in them days, Master Shin had a little, it was literally, he was from Korea, so it was a little difficult understanding some of the things. But one Saturday a month, this group of maybe 8 or 10 students would come from Connecticut, and it would be Master Bowen. And he would bring his group over, and they would train with us. And he would get me on the side. I remember when I was an orange belt, and he would explain little things like, this is a high block. And so my relationship started back then. And then when I was a green belt, he had his tournament, and I went out there and I started meeting all of his good students, and we all became friends. And I remember many years ago, when I was probably about 18 years old, Master Shin, I was talking to Master Shin one day, and he said to me, you know, training Tang Soo Do is gonna make you develop relationships. It's not about kicking, it's not about punching, it's not about how many people you can fight. But you're going to develop relationships that's going to last a lifetime. And you're going to have friends that you're going to be closer to them than your real family. And these friends, when you come in contact with them, they're going to make you happy. And I never understood that, because I was 18 years old, because all I wanted to do was kick, punch, go to tournaments. Them days, our focus for training was tournaments. We had no concept of philosophy. Philosophy was, if I can get a point, if I can win a tournament, that's what we trained for. But now, after all these years of training, I realize the relationships. Everybody at this table, every time I'm around them, it's that relationship. I feel good. It makes me feel good the next day. I laugh, and I remember sometimes we had, fun together, or sometimes we get mad at each other. But that's what a family's about. Me and Master Scott, right now we're great friends. There was years we didn't talk to each other. But when you have the same relationship, it works, and that's what. And for Master Jenkins, if you went in the dictionary and looked up the word humble, there would be a picture of Master Jenkins. because he's the most humble and respectful master that I ever knew. Anytime you see him, his bow is perfect. He's always calm. He never badmouths anybody. He never talks bad. His character is a real, we say, Buddha. He's a real example of Buddha, everything he does. And I love him as a brother because we are very similar. He teaches Tang Soo Do, I teach Tang Soo Do. He teaches fitness, I have fitness. We do the same. We always communicate on the things we do. We do the same lives. He teaches, what, 6 classes a day? I do 4 or 5 a day. So it's just part of the way our structure is. And, you know, doing fitness, doing Tang Soo Do, and growing and just staying with it. And, you know, many years you train, and you always, you know, I learned one thing: to be an instructor, you have to be a good actor. Because them days when you have a pulled hamstring, or a hurt knee, or your back is broken, you don't let the students know. You go out there, and you act really good, really strong. And you go home and you have the aches and the pains. So it's not easy being an instructor. It's a lot of hard work. And anybody who can stay in the martial arts for 50 years, it's a lot of work. And I want to compliment him and say he's a wonderful man, and I'm very proud to know him all these years. So he's been Tang Soo Do.
Thank you, sir. Next up, we have Master Tang Soo Do.
Hello everybody. Some people might don't know me. My name is Jenkins King, and everybody knows Chuck Norris. Well, I'm the honorable guy who came from same karate school they call Osan Air Force Base, K-55. I was born and raised in 1952, and there is an original master is here, Master Bodhi, from also original master from Osan Air Force Base in Korea, way back. I'm honored to be here today with Master Wesley Jenkins. I really don't like to call people Grandmaster. I tell you why. Grandmaster means sit on the chair and write certificates. Means old. I like to call everybody the master. Means he's still kicking and punching. As a Korean master, I don't respect a lot of Korean masters either, because they talk too much, they don't practice. I only socialize people, even Korean master, who still wear a uniform, especially white uniform. Since I've been in America 40 years, I'm the few Korean master who married an American lady. Today I came to say we have a Korean master from Korea. I love people who teach Korean martial arts because that's the country I came from. So I have great respect people who do Korean martial arts, either you do Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, Hapkido. So I'm very honored to be here today, celebrate Master Jenkins' 50 years practice. I hope next 10 years later, when he celebrates 60 years, I hope, we hope, at that time, not wearing suit, maybe we all get together, wear uniform, we practice here, and celebrate 60 years. And, you know, I don't speak good as all these masters. I still have an accent, but, you know, I don't go out too much I traveled so many countries when I was young, but when I met so many people, some people I feel they are good people. I don't care if they bring 10 boards, pencil and blocks. What it counts is a good person. And I found Master Wesley Jenkins, in his heart, is a good person. So, I'm not a socialized person, but for his invitation, I gave him an answer within 2 days because I put it in my schedule, I want to come and see. One sad thing is, why he practicing these so many years? He met a lot of Korean masters, and they are not here. So some of them gave me bad impressions, and I get really frustrated why everybody can get along good. You know? I wish everybody can practice together, even if they belong to different organizations. So, you know, we are getting these grandmasters, masters getting old. So everybody being so great champion, they can kick, punch way past. Now, our job is to teach our students, practice with them, have a good time, and have a beautiful memory. Master, both of you know, when we was in Korea, we didn't have a camera like this, everything. For all black and white, if somebody had a camera, is a rich person. I have pictures, few pictures, but all American GI took a picture and they drove back to the base. So I hope Master Jenkins still stay young, and I wish he has so many good memories with the students for many, many years to come. So I brought a small gift to Master Jenkins. Maybe he can come forward. This is nothing to do with the karate. He's been karate so many years. And now even think about so many certificates and plaques, all different things. I don't like that kind of stuff. Way back, 20 years ago, I heard somebody doing a good job in Tang Soo Do. I don't even know who is he, but I went to his tournament, gave him an appreciation certificate, which is the person who's sitting over there, Master Dominic Giacobi. I didn't know who he was, but he was working Tang Soo Do famous all over the world. So I appreciate it. I went to see him, even I'm his senior. Master Jenkins saying, you make the difference. We hereby express our sincere appreciation to Grandmaster Wesley Jenkins in recognition of your personal commitment, dedication, and performance. Thanks so much. Tang Soo. Well, I don't want to talk too much. I brought something else though, but this is not for him. This is every man behind the what? Great woman is here. This is Jenkins. This is Korean souvenir. It's nothing to do with craft. Korean souvenir for your outstanding support for exciting. And I hope you enjoy it with your husband. And my face on it. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good week.
Thank you, sir. Next up, last but not least, we have Grandmaster of that podium.
I know I'm not supposed to be his grandmaster, but I just love him so much. And I still call him grandmaster, but it's like Papa to me, so I want to stand by his side as he gives his speech. So I hope you don't mind.
What do you mean it doesn't fit? Fellow martial artists, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, fellow Tang Soo Do warriors, guests, thank you for the invitation, and it's an honor and privilege for me to be here in such a celebration. 50 years, like you've already heard, is a passage of time, but like they've also said, there's a lot of sacrifice and toil and tears and bills to pay and sorrow that goes with it. And just before we were talking about the older we get, the toughest job is going to all the funerals and reading the obituaries of martial artists too young to leave, and yet that's life. It's something we have to deal with, and we wish we could go to more weddings and baptisms and christenings, first communions, and all the rest of the things that bring joy, but life is giving us these challenges, which is why we need to be able to put on our toe box and tie our belt to help our humanity today more than ever. We have to keep on training. The world needs people with the kind of character we're here to celebrate, like Master Jenkins. That's what it's all about. I like reading books and going to bookstores and giving gifts that help people reflect and think and use, besides the kicking and the punching,